this is a non-issue, you guys. Everybody back to work. hey, if this is a non-starter. If this ever comes to be something, then we'll address it later.
What's good, people? It's your boy, The Kitchen. Now, it appears that 50 Cent has not let his foot up off Joe Budden's neck. Now, all of this started a few months ago when 50 Cent would react to Irv Gotti's death. And he would kind of be nonchalant about it. He would be insulting. You know 50. 50 is... He's very heartless in that sense, and it just seemed like a horrible post that he made about Irv, so much so that a lot of people made noise about it, including Joe Budden. And Joe would actually say that 50 needs therapy. Yes, he said that on his podcast. Then a few days later, 50 would respond to that with a post of Joe Budden. If you guys remember, this was around a sleepwalking incident. So 50 would make AI images of Joe Budden shirtless. Well, not just shirtless, you know. He was butt-ass naked, knocking on different doors. Now, obviously, this was hilarious. And he would do this for days. So much so that Joe would actually respond and threaten to take 50 to court, because making AI images, sexually explicit AI images to be exact, is in fact illegal, which I didn't really think about, to be honest, because AI is just so new and we're still kind of getting used to it. You didn't think there would be laws about AI, but I digress. Then 50 would see Joe at a Knicks game. Yes, in fact, Joe was sitting behind 50 Cent. And this was quite hilarious because in real time we kind of saw the dynamic between those two. They don't like each other. Well, at least 50 doesn't like Joe. Joe pretends to be cool with 50 in some instances, but I just don't think a relationship is there. But we did see on live TV that they had a conversation. Yes, they actually had a conversation, and by Joe's words, they seem to have pieced it up. But it was actually quite funny because Joe did look... Joe looked pretty nervous, I can't lie. And it is 50, so I don't blame him. 50 has been through a whole load of shit, so Joe kind of looked like a bitch in front of his woman. Yes, his girl was there too, by the way. So Joe didn't really do anything until 50 turned around and addressed Joe. Yes, Joe didn't address him. 50 had to turn around and say, "Hey, Joe, come here. Let me talk to you. I'm not going to hurt you. Just let me talk to you." And you know what Joe did. He got up out of his seat, he left his girl, and he leaned into 50 Cent's ear. And they had a conversation. I'm not sure what the conversation was about, but Joe did say they had a lengthy conversation and that the beef is no longer on and that it is in fact squashed. At least that's what we thought, because Joe told us that, until a couple weeks later, where Fat Joe would shoot shots at Joe Budden for not wanting to be in Joe Budden's seats when it comes to being at basketball games. And if you guys didn't hear the clip, here it is.
They gave me some suspect. Suspect for me is I'm not going 10th row. I'm not going 5th row. I gotta be front row.
So you want all the...
Because somebody you don't like, your enemy, gonna come sit right at, you know, we call that the Joe Budden seats. You know, them second row.
I don't even got
you
a
ain't
hood.
got a hoodie?
I don't even got a hood.
Yo, listen, them second, third row, I can't do it. I gotta sit front row. I'll give you my experience.
What do you call them seats?
The Joe Budden seats. Them shit second row. You know, perfect example. Him and 50 got some shit, and I'm sitting courtside, and 50 comes sit.
He was right behind y'all. Though.
Okay, but he's behind us.
Those were still considered floor seats.
Those
if
are
you know
great.
anything.
Listen,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's AA and BB.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the man had a little something going on with 50, and why God put 50 Cent front row, and he's in like third row. Like, that would bother me if I was Joe Budden's. It happened to me before. It happened to me before. When we just
listen,
squashed
if he didn't bump in the 5th, would he had a nice experience?
You got a good seat, but the problem is you got to always expect the enemy might come front row.
Yo, what are you,
No.
what are you thinking?
This man is
Trying to tell you the truth. The enemy will come front row. Look what happened to Joe Budden.
Now, this clip was kind of funny, I can't lie to you. Now, it was mostly Fat Joe sending shots. Jadakiss didn't do anything but laugh. But this obviously went on to make rounds on social media, and a lot of people were laughing at this. So much so that Joe had to in fact respond, and that's what he did. And this is what he had to say.
I'm not in the record label seats. I'm not in the Kith seats. I'm not in the comp seats. I'm in the seat that I wanted to purchase, so I bought it. It's really just that simple. I'm not with all the extra hoopla out there. I'm not out here running around moving with the leverage of my management company or trying to be buddy-buddy or friendly with rappers that I'm not really buddy-buddy or friendly with. I'm the walking embodiment of standing on my own, too. And you know that, which is why you're using my name on your newly established platform, trying to get traction, because I'm the best in the biz. I recognize that, too. Lastly, I just don't know what Joe Budden seats mean, and because I have so much relationship equity with Fat Joe, I'll wait for him to tell me. I don't want to assume. On one hand, where I come from, you would want to be seated behind your enemy, if anything.
That's where the logic.
That's the part I didn't follow.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be seated in front of him. So, if he was talking about that, I don't really get it, but that's on him. And lastly, maybe Joe Budden seats just means sitting behind somebody you make a lot more than. Until we get clarity on it, we won't really know. But be clear, reimagine how y'all mention my name in some of these conversations. I make a lot more than you niggas. So, if I'm seated behind you, it's by choice, enjoying some popcorn with my baby.
Now, I can't lie, I criticize Joe a lot on what he says and what he does on his pod, but this was a really, really good response. So much so that 50 Cent saw this post and decided to insert himself into this beef. And not only did he insert himself, he also appeared to threaten Joe and to keep Terror Squad's name out of his mouth. But what he would actually say on Instagram about Joe is, "See Joe, damn, they taking too long to pick you up, bro. Terror Squad, you dead. Leave Joe and Jada alone. This ain't gonna cut it." Now, this photo is from an actual video of Joe leaving the Knicks game. I'm not sure if it's like the second or the third game, but it's the Knicks game. And if you guys didn't see that video that 50 posted, here it is.
How the fuck he's not happy with Knicks won? The Knicks fucking won. How is he happy right now? Why feels dead? It's like motherfuckers wanted to lose and feel sad. Fuck type of energy. Yo, Dave, why the energy so fucking whack right now?
Now, some people could say that this may turn very, very bad quickly due to the fact that 50 Cent has now posted Joe Budden's girl with a threat attached in the caption. Now, I'm not sure if Joe is willing to go to the depths of 50 Cent's petty, because 50 control on the internet and 50's with the shits in real life too. So this can go bad for Joe both ways. It's like a double-edged sword. I think he just needs to back out of this, because 50 can go on for years. 50 doesn't care. But like I said, how do you guys feel about this? Do you guys feel like Joe should back away from this? Because Joe is kind of selective when it comes to his beefs. Like, he'll beef with, I don't know, Mouse Jones for years, but when it comes to 50, he knows who 50 is. He knows the caliber of people he beefs with. He knows when to jump in and when to back away from certain beefs. So, I don't know. What am I asking you guys? Just tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel about this. I'm very curious to know. And until next time, it's your boy The Kitchen. Deuces.